Hey friends, welcome to the 19th episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I am a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are coming back, welcome back. I hope you guys have had a really good couple of weeks. I've had a delightful week so far. I decided to take off a few days this week. I've had just, a good time to get some things done around the house, relax, get a lot of knitting done, some gardening, some running. It's been really, really good for me. I'm not always great at relaxing. It's just, I feel like I relax by doing things and feeling accomplished. But often at the end of that, I find myself very depleted and almost like I need a vacation from my vacation. So this week I have literally been like, you are not getting off this couch for another hour, which didn't exactly work. I still ended up doing stuff, but I still spent a lot of time relaxing. I've got lots of sleep. It helps that the weather has just been my absolute favorite this week. It's literally been cold and rainy and gloomy all week, and that is my favorite weather. So I might be in the wrong state for that, but I really love this weather. So yeah, what else? So today I ordered an ottoman from West Elm last year, and it was it was a pre-order kind of thing, or I think it was back ordered, and they didn't predict that it would be shipped until this month, which is, I think I bought it in August. But I'm not always great when I buy things online. I'm not always the best at reading the dimensions. So it was the same style or like model as my couch, and in the pictures it looked like it fit perfectly with my couch. And so I was really excited about it. It just arrived literally like an hour ago. It's enormous. It's way bigger than I thought it was. Like, I thought it was just going to be enough for like one section, like one cushion. Like, I don't know, like 3 feet at the most. No, it's like a 4-foot square. Like, it's so big I had to get rid of my coffee table, because there is not room in my living room for this ottoman and the coffee table. There's just not. So it's now my coffee table and my ottoman. And I can't return it. It's mine. I own it. There's no return policy. So, but it's nice. I think it'll be, once I get used to it, it's going to be really nice. But it was just kind of funny when the delivery guys brought it in, and it was in this giant box, and I just looked at it thinking, okay, there's got to be padding, right? There's padding. There was no padding. It was the size of that box. So yay. I am the owner of an enormous ottoman. What else? So I've done some running this week. There's two interesting things going on with my running right now. Some of the main problems that I've been having with running was shin splints, and that my feet would go numb when I run. And I've been working with a physical therapist who's been amazing, and he gave me some things to work on this week or last couple weeks, and I've really been working on them. And one of the things he's having me do is shorten my stride by increasing my cadence. And so I'm running to songs that are at a certain cadence or tempo, and it's been really helpful. So it's a much faster cadence than I'm used to running, and what's interesting about it is it has solved the problem of my feet going numb, which is amazing. The downside is it's a lot harder on my upper legs to run at that tempo. So I can, like, it's showing me how weak I am, which is really interesting. And so I can do a run, feel really good about it, and then the next morning I'm just like, oh, everything hurts. Everything hurts. These muscles are not used to being used this much. So I had a goal of running a certain amount of miles this week. I probably won't hit that goal just because I want to make sure I'm giving my body plenty of rest. And so I think I'm actually going to do a run tomorrow on Thursday when I get home from work, because that'll be my first day back this week, and I think I'm just going to need to get some stress relief at the end of the day. I'm also, my Friday and Saturday Saturday's going to be bonkers, guys. Our office is doing a weekend, like a Saturday half-day program for patients on finding balance, which is really awesome. I'm very happy to be a part of that. That starts at 9 a.m. The 5K that I'm running starts at 7. So I'm slow. I'm very slow. I think right now my time for a 5K is going to be about 50 minutes with walking and running. I may run a little faster just because of the excitement of being in a group. Yeah, I'm gonna have like an hour to cool off before this program. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so, and then the big Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon happens on Sunday, so it goes right past one of my friends' houses, so we're gonna go cheer on the runners. I'll probably be knitting, but it'll be really fun. So I feel like there was something else I was gonna say about my running. That was it. It's going good. But let's talk about knitting. I've had a lot of knitting time this week. I have also bought more yarn than normal this week, and I'm trying to be careful about that, but how do I phrase this? So I've had a few extra sources of income recently, and so that's kind of offsetting some of this shopping, but I'm also buying things that are not as expensive as most of the stuff I would normally buy. If that makes sense. So it's still overall spending less money. I have one more purchase I'm thinking about making, and then I just need to stop buying right now. I need to knit through what I have. But everything I've bought so far has been like summer weight yarns or summer fibers, and really looking forward to it. I'm like fully in the summer knitting craze. Like that's all I want to do right now is knit summer garments. So anyway, so actually ironically I have 2 FOs today. Neither of them are summer garments. In fact, quite the opposite. So this one I post on Instagram, and also thank you guys for all your very sweet comments. That was just, felt really good. So this is my Louvre sweater. This is a pattern by PetiteKnit. You can see where I folded it. I knit this out of Sonder Yarn, sort of Sonder Yarn Co. in the Sunday Morning DK in their ecru base, and the colorway is Over Easy. And I think that is the most appropriate name for this color. This fits so well. Also this yarn is a delight to knit with anyway. Like I thoroughly enjoy the feeling of knitting with this yarn. It maybe has like a little bit of scratch while you're knitting with it, but I can say confidently that once you block it, it is unbelievably soft. Like, oh, it's so nice. So I had been kind of worried about this collar, so I tried really hard to stretch it out while I was blocking it, but because of the weight of the sweater, when I put it on, it actually falls down a little lower. So it's actually not like a turtleneck. It's actually more like about here. So I actually like it. I don't think it's gonna bother me. I'm not wearing it right now because this is still warm. And even though it's a little cooler outside right now, it's not cool enough to be wearing a wool sweater, at least in my opinion. I actually tried this on to take photos of it, which I posted on Instagram. And normally I would stand there and take photos and take photos and take photos till I find the one I like. I gave up because I was starting to sweat. So I like the pictures I got anyway, so that's okay. But yeah, so happy to have this one done. This will maybe be my first sweater I'll knit, or I'll wear when it gets colder. Probably not, actually, just because it's, yeah, I'm gonna want it may be too warm for fall here. And this is gonna be a very cheerful very cheerful winter garment. I think this will just be such a delightful pop of color in like the gray winter. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this a lot next winter. I think if there's anything else. I will say, so the one thing I would maybe say I don't love about this, I don't feel like unfolding it, but it's got a really deep raglan. So the raglan obviously starts up the neckline. It doesn't end until like here. So I think you stop like the sleeve increases, but you're still making body increases. It's just it's a deep raglan. So that's maybe the only part I don't love about it. I don't know that I would make this pattern again. I mean, I love PetiteKnit patterns. I love just how classic and simple her patterns are. But I would say if I'm comparing like this, the Louvre sweater, to the no frills or the Monday sweater, I like those better. Just again, because the raglans aren't quite as deep. And I like the necklines better. So that's really the only other thing about it, is just, yeah, those three things. So that's the first FO. The second FO, it's gonna be interesting to try this on because my hair's in a little ponytail. But this is the sparkle hat. So this is the one I talked about, I think, on the last episode. So this is knit in Winsleigh worsted from La Bien Aimee, and then sparkle. I don't know if I have. I had sparkle down here. There it is. Maybe. Oh gosh, like break a wrist. So yeah, this is, so Creative Crazy Palettes is the sparkle that I used. My headphone just did that thing that it did a whole bunch last time, and it did not affect the sound, so I'm going to try to not react to it every time it happens. Yeah, so I don't know, what color is this? Oh, yeah, that's annoying. It's a number. I got this from the Crafty Jackalope, and I think she just called it the, like, blush. But yeah, so I held it. I don't think I have the extra ball of the Winsleigh worsted. I think this color was Sansa. So this is, the pattern I used is the classic cuffed hat, or classic cuffed beanie from Purl Soho. It's a free pattern. I've heard that like a lot of their hat patterns run big. I have a big head, so that works out for me. I will say, like, I'm not a huge fan of this decrease. It just kind of looks boxy. So that's, I don't know, it kind of, I don't know if I like that. But I knitted exactly to pattern, and it is too big. So it's gonna be fun with the ponytail. So I was gonna add this pom-pom to it, but it's such a big pom-pom, and the tip is like out here, so I was afraid it was just gonna be like flopping. So I didn't add the pom-pom. This may end up being a gift for somebody, because this extra fabric kind of bothers me. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get to winter and I'll just be like, oh no, I love it. It is really soft. I do think that the sequins add a little bit of scratchiness to it, so that's not my fave. I actually debated leaving them out of the rib cuff, but decided to keep them in the cuff. I think that's, yeah, that's about it. Oh, that is actually another thing. So the sequins on this are arranged in rainbow order. So you really can't tell, I don't think, yeah, you can't see it on here. But when you have like the strand out, it's just all in rainbow order. So it resets over and over again. And you can't really tell it on here. Like you can't see that there was a rainbow on that. But it was just kind of fun when I knit it to see that. But yeah, that is my second and last FO. Okay. So we're doing good on time. I have 3 whips. So let's start with the hat. You guys have seen this. This is not that exciting. But I have made progress on it. I'm at 8 inches now. So this is my Musselburgh hat. It's knit out of the Wandering Flock. I don't know what base it is. I think it's a single. It's a merino single. I love the halo on it. Like it's just very fluffy, super soft. And I think I've decided that I do want to make this a folded brim hat. I could change my mind though. I could decide this absolutely and then next week be like, nope, no brim. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep knitting till it feels right. It's still too short. Like when I try it on, it's like comes to here. Looks really weird. But yeah, well, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna use a different color that's across the room and I'm not gonna go get it. So this is gonna be 2 colored. So I'll knit the first half in this and the second half. I forget what the name of that colorway is, but it's a more muted pink that still has some like streaks of this pink in it. So I think it'll match well. This back in this little bag. Okay. Saving my best for last. At least what I think is my best. So I don't remember if I cast this on last week or not. Not last week. I guess technically it was 2 weeks ago. So I think I had cast it on. Yeah, I had. So I have this set, DK weight set from Moonglow Yarn or Fibers. Shoot. Yep, I don't have a tag. I showed it last week. So it was like a Christmassy candy cane lane set that I bought around Christmas. So I added my second color. I'm just doing, it's a US 6 and I cast on 160 stitches and I'm just doing garter. And this is a really good, just basic, like boring, I guess boring is a bad term for it. It's not exciting. It's just, it's easy. It's easy knitting. It's always good to have some easy knitting so you don't have to like constantly, like you don't always have to be thinking when you knit. So it's nice to sometimes have something that is just an easy knit. So this is my easy knit right now. I haven't made a ton of progress on it. I don't know. It's just there if I need it. Okay. So I did some swatching this week and I haven't posted about this so far because it doesn't look like much. So I bought, in the past, I bought some Knitting for Olive not soft silk mohair. I always want to say that. Pure silk. And I bought 3 balls of this. Oh, that is interesting. You can totally see my face through that. That's slightly concerning considering what I'm making out of this. Anyway, so that's it. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. So this is the pure silk. I did a swatch of it. So I bought 3 balls of it and it's 250 meters per ball. Let's see if that's gonna focus. There we go, kind of. So I got the coal colorway, which is just black. Definitely would not recommend knitting with this in the winter when it's dark, because I have difficulty seeing it in the summer. But it also, like, it's nice to the touch when you're knitting it, but it's not super soft. And so I kind of wondered what it would be like to wear it. I also wasn't 100% certain if I was supposed to wash, like, wet block silk, but their instructions on the ball say to, like, or either on their website or on the ball, say to, like, wash cold. I will say this black color bleeds, so I would not recommend knitting this with like a really light contrast color, because the water, when I did the swatch, came out like gray. Now I did rinse it a few times, and it was really just the first soak that it lost some dye. It stopped doing that after the, like I rinsed it out a few other times and like squeezed it out, and it was clear. But it gets a lot softer with blocking. Like, this is just delightful. It is so soft. So I also thankfully made gauge with my tiny swatch. And so I cast on a coloring book tee, which is a pattern by Aimee Sher. And I apologize in advance for all the dog hair that is on this. And let's see if I can get it. So I've been like feverishly knitting on this thing, and I finally last night split for the sleeves. So it doesn't look like a whole lot because it's black, and it is, I don't know. I actually tried it on this morning. I knit like an inch of the body and then tried it on, and it fits perfectly. It's maybe a little big, especially in the body. It's definitely a loose fit, and I knit the size I normally knit. I also went back and did the collar. And I think it's a little slanty, but I think the collar will block out. She actually, one of her samples is knit in the pure silk, so I knew I could use it for it, which is great. I'm knitting this on a US 4. And so she basically, you start below the collar, and then you come back later and you pick up stitches and you knit your collar. I don't like that. I think if I did it again, I would just start with the collar and go from there. I think the reason she has you do that is so that you don't end up with a super tight collar, because it's silk and it does not stretch. She also has you do a twisted rib, which, just because this is not a fluffy yarn, I don't love the twisted rib. If I could go back and do that again, which I'm not going to, I would do just a regular rib. It is covered. That bodes well. So the other thing is, I don't love my bind off on this thing. So I did a sewn Italian bind off. I tried doing a regular bind off and just doing it loose, and it looked even worse. So I picked it up, or picked back, like, it's probably like 10, 15 stitches. And I did a sewn bind off, which took forever, but it did work pretty well with this yarn. It definitely looks better, but it still looks kind of sloppy. That's why I kind of think it would maybe look better just to cast on, and then you don't have to worry about it looking funky when you cast off. And hopefully some of this will block out. But so far that's really the only bit of this I haven't liked. And everything else will be just like, I'm just in the body now. She also, I think she includes a little twisted rib detail at the side, and I omitted that because I didn't feel like doing that. What else about this? I don't remember. This has been really fun to knit on. It feels absolutely lovely. I cannot wait to be done with it. So I had 3 balls of this yarn. I just started my 3rd ball about an inch after splitting for the sleeves. I still have, like, I don't like cropped sweaters. I don't like the way they fit on me. So this will be a full length sweater. Oh dear goodness. Drop stitches. Oh no. Should have known that could have happened. Oh, I think we're good. Did I just... I think I'm gonna have to go back and take a closer look at that last stitch. But I think I'm okay. Oh dears. That's slightly upsetting. This yarn is so hard to see because it's black, and then it's also kind of splitty because it's silk. And so, oh, okay, I'm gonna fix that later. What else was I gonna say about this? Oh yeah, so the body. So I think I've knit like 1.5 inches of the body. I'm probably gonna go like 11 inches on the body and then start ribbing. I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing the twisted ribbing. I just literally through my brain just went the fact that I'm gonna have to do a sewn bind off on the body because the regular bind off doesn't look good. I don't want to do a sewn bind off on. It's 300 stitches. That's a lot of stitches to do a sewn bind off on. Ugh. I almost always omit that for the body of a sweater because I hate doing a sewn bind off with that many flippin' stitches. Oh well, it's fine. I'll put a movie on. It's gonna be great. So yeah, my goal today is to get to 4 inches, which is probably a pretty lofty goal, but I'm gonna try it. Because I'm probably gonna bring this on Sunday when I'm cheering on the runners. So I might bring this, and then I'll just be that weird lady knitting on a black sweater while watching people run by. So I actually went ahead and bought 2 more balls of this just because I knew I wasn't gonna have enough with just 3. I think I will definitely need 4 skein or 4 balls. I may dip into the 5th. I'm not mad to have some extra of that because it's really nice yarn. So, and I'll show one other swatch and plan. So I had bought this cattail silk by Purl Soho. Excuse me. Hope nobody heard that. So I bought it a while back, and it's like lace weight. I think it's like 600 and something yards for 100 grams. But I think they recommend knitting it on like a US 2 to 5. And that just seems like, for lace weight, insane. So I found a pattern by Isabell Kraemer called the Tresoro tee. Or I think it's just called Tresoro. But it's a t-shirt. And it's kind of like got short sleeves as a t-shirt. But it's got a little bit of an A-line shape, just a little bit, and I like that. So I swatched for it, and I think she calls for a US 3. So let's see, you can't see my face through it. You can a little bit. Okay. So my other teeny tiny swatch. But this was really, I was impressed with this. So it's also one I wet blocked this one as well, and it got really soft. So I don't remember, they say like what kind of content this is. It's just silk. 100% silk. It's from Japan. I have 2 skeins of this, which is plenty. That's like 1,200 yards. It is a little bit pricier. I think it's like $30 a skein, but again, 2 skeins, you got a sweater or t-shirt anyway. But this one is, what is this color? Midori green. I think this would be really, really pretty. So that might be next, maybe. Okay, so got 3 more acquisitions. Let's go with this one first. So this I think I bought, this was its own order. I bought this like last month and it arrived this month. This was during their sale. So this is another Purl Soho. This is Sweetgrass, which is an undyed base, or at least I think this, I don't know if they're all undyed. I think they are. It's 65% organic cotton and 35% superfine alpaca. So that's the alpaca. It is insanely soft, y'all. Like, this is bonkers how soft this is. Oh, come on, focus. I know you can't see how soft it is in the photo, but it's really, really soft. I was shocked, honestly. I think it's like, yeah, it's 437 yards and 100 grams. So it's very thin fingering. So I got 3 of these. I don't think this had a colorway. Oh, it does, beach bark. So I have 3. So I've got another 1,200, so enough to make another t-shirt. I may make another coloring book tee with this. I think this would be really pretty. I may just, the coloring book tee may be my sweater this summer, or my project. I may just make like 10 of them. It's very possible, but this will be another one most likely, unless I like the Tresoro better. And then maybe I'll make a bunch of Tresoros. I have not swatched with this yet, but oh, I can just imagine, this is gonna make the most glorious sweater or t-shirt. It's gonna feel so good. Like, I could sleep with this. It's so nice. Like a pillowcase. Okay, so the next one I'm also very excited about. This one was one of those things that I bought it and then I forgot, and then I remembered it wrong, and then I was pleasantly surprised. That was the sequence of of how it happened in my brain. So when I bought the 2 skeins of pure silk from Knitting for Olive, I had to pay, I don't remember if I had to pay international shipping. It wasn't outrageous, but I just decided to add a few more on while I was doing it. So I tried their cotton merino, and this is in the deep ochre, which is just obviously my color. I'm so excited about this. It's just like, this is like to a sunflower yellow to me. Like a golden green, a little bit greeny. I love it. I thought I bought this in the pure silk, and when it arrived, I was like, this is not pure silk. So it is, I think it's 70% cotton and 30% merino. Oh, where'd my thing go? Yeah, 70%. So it's mostly cotton, but I like that it has the merino because that gives it a little bit more structure, because cotton has, like, cotton grows. It doesn't have memory, and wool does. So this will hopefully help it stay a little bit more, keep its shape a little better. So I got 5 balls of this. This is also it's the same weight as the pure silk, so it's 250 meters per 50 grams. So I have enough to make another coloring book tee. I think this would also look amazing. I'm just gonna have like all the coloring book tees. I think this is a really good color palette actually for me. So I'm kind of pumped about that. I will cast it on at some point in my future. Okay. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great on time. Alrighty, I have one more acquisition, and this was another one. This was a pre-order, so I think I bought this actually a couple months ago. This is from Nomadic Yarns. Let's see. I love her little logo. That's really cute. And I love that she winds them into not zobber balls. What does she call these? Gobstoppers. What she calls these. So this was a colorway called Your Hands Are Cold, which is a line from the new Pride and Prejudice with Matthew McFadden and Keira Knightley, which I don't like as well as the old school BBC one. The old school BBC one is like the best Pride and Prejudice. I will not argue with anyone on that because I'm right. No, I'm kidding. If you like the other one, that's fine. But Your Hands Are Cold is not in the old BBC one. It's also not in the book. I'm probably giving you, I'm a weird person. I accept that, but sometimes other people get a little weirded out. Anyway, so I like to listen to audiobooks. I'm not the best at audiobooks. I am someone, I get in a rut and I like one thing and I like it a lot. And for the last 2 years, my rut that I've been in is listening to the Pride and Prejudice audiobook on Audible, read by Rosamund Pike, who was Jane in the newer Pride and Prejudice. She reads it so well. It is so good. And so I literally listened to it on a loop. I have listened to almost the entire book on this week off. It's fantastic. She does voices so well, you actually forget it's just one person reading it. It's so good. She gives Charlotte Lucas a lisp, and that just makes my heart so happy. It's the best. Sorry, I'm noticing like I'm really blowing out. It's getting super dark outside. It looks like it's about to, oh, put a tracking lock on my head. That is interesting. Let's take that off. What was I trying to say? Yeah, so it's like, looks like it's about to start raining again, which I'm okay with, but it is super gloomy outside. Anyway, back to the audiobook. So I actually looked back just to see if Audible kept track of how many times I'd listened to the book, and thankfully it doesn't. I'm gonna guess I've listened to this audiobook at least 15 or 20 times. Sometimes like this week I finished it and I immediately went back to chapter 1. Started listening to it again. But anyway, so this line, Your Hands Are Cold, is only in the new movie, but I really like the colors. That's why I bought it. I think the colors are just absolutely beautiful. It's obviously self-striping. Her, the base is Twisty Sock, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. It's 400 yards and 100 grams, so like perfect fingering weight. These are gonna make some beautiful socks whenever I cast on socks next time. So that's it. That's all I got. At least as far as my knitting. So I know I keep saying I'm gonna bring my mom on here. My mom just moved, and so she's kind of like, she's busy. So she is gonna come record a segment with me at some point, but it may still be a while, just because she needs to get settled. Somebody had suggested that I have her bring her stash, since, well, except for this episode, I'm not buying a lot of yarn. So it's funny because I told her that. I was like, hey, somebody suggested you bring your stash and show it off. And at first she's like, oh no. She's like, I just buy cheap yarn from Hobby Lobby. I was like, yeah, so? Like, everyone's budgets are different. Everyone enjoys knitting with different fibers. This is a safe space for acrylic and other yarns. So she's gonna bring it and show off what she bought and maybe talk about like what she's thinking about making with some of it. She just finished a cabled hat, so she's gonna talk about that. But yeah, she's still getting settled, so it may still be a minute before she comes back, but I will get her back at some point. But my dad came by this week to run some errands in the city, and I had him drop by or bring by a couple sweaters. So I am making my parents sweaters for Christmas, and I've never done that before. I've never knit an adult sweater for anyone other than me. But I have enough right now that I can make for other people. So I had them both bring me sweaters that they love the way they fit, and I took measurements from them. Just have to tease my mom a little bit. So I hadn't looked at the sweaters yet, and I was on the phone with her, and she was like, hey, just so you know, so the sweater I brought in, the sleeves aren't quite long enough. So I want you to make the sleeves a little longer. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, she brought me a sweater that's a 3/4 length sleeve. So yeah, no duh. No duh, they're too short. They literally end here. So I'm probably gonna just knit till like a little shorter than like what I would want, and then have her try it on and see if she likes it. But I think, so my dad's sweater is going to be out of this Serrano by Deram Natura. Oh, ow, sorry. A little button on my stool just like caught my shorts and kind of hurt. So this is 100% wool. It's like the way it's made is like really cool. It's French. I don't know all the details, but I've knit a sweater out of a smaller version of or a thinner version of this. I think it was a sport weight. Loved it. I bought this to make the Dartmoor sweater when I was doing the test for Cagery, and that's actually blowing out quite a bit. It's darker than that. I don't know what got in my brain. I didn't make gauge, so I never used this yarn for that pattern, but I think I bought 9 balls of it. I got a lot of this yarn, and it's like an Aran weight. So I figured this would be a good one to use for my dad's sweater. I was gonna say it's Nuit. That's or Night. That's the colorway. It's really pretty. I think it's gonna look really good. He's got blue eyes, so I think it's gonna look really good on him. I haven't decided what I'm gonna knit with it. I was thinking about doing the Nurtured sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I might still do that. I probably need to just watch for it. But I kind of, the more I looked at it, I feel like it might be a little fussy for my dad. So I may just try to find something that's a little bit more his personality. So that's going to be his. And then I think for my mom's sweater, I'm going to use, this is the Earl Grey Fiber Company, who's no longer dying. This is her Oolong DK, and the colorway is Sweater Weather. So I've got 6 or 7 of this, which should be plenty. I already texted my mom and asked her if she liked this color, and she did. So I use these. I think these will both be really good for them, because neither of them, well, I say that. My dad has never had a hand knit wool sweater. So I think that's actually gonna be really nice, because it's the sweater I have out of similar yarn is just delightful. Like, it really is not itchy. It feels like it might be itchy, but then when you put it on, it's not itchy at all. My mom has probably a little bit more sensitivity to itch, and so this is a superwash. It's 100% superwash merino. There's 0 itch to it. It is so soft. So yeah, so that's gonna be them. My sister hasn't mentioned if she wants a sweater or not, so I kind of doubt that she will. If you can't put it in a machine to wash it, she doesn't really want it. So we even have an agreement for my nieces, like when I knit my niece a sweater for her birthday, like if it needs washing, it comes to me and I wash it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, I think. So this will probably be up on Friday. That's gonna be my goal. So yeah, that should work out. But so yeah, be up a little bit early, and I think I should be back on track after that, like back on my regular Sundays. Who knows? But I hope you guys have a really good couple of weeks. Hope you get some good knitting time. I hope weather is starting to get better wherever you live. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we were up in like the 80s for a week, and then we had we had a bad storm actually. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was just supposed to be rain. Actually, yeah. I don't know if I talked about this. I don't think I did. I got home from work last Wednesday. like a week ago. It's amazing how quickly my brain forgets these things. I got home from work around like 5, and it was looking kind of ominous outside, like it was gonna rain. And so I knew, okay, I was like, if I'm gonna do my run, I gotta go now. And so I went for my run, didn't bring my phone with me. I just brought my watch and my headphones. And I was supposed to run 2 miles, but I was tired. Like my legs were just tired. And so I turned around at like 1.4, 1.3, I think. I ended up running like 1.8 miles. But as I was getting closer to my neighborhood, I was like, yeah, these clouds don't look great. Like these clouds really don't look good. So I was actually like kind of picking up my pace towards the end, like we need to get back sooner. So I got back home, and it's like looking really nasty. Not raining yet, but just does not look good. And I'd had my car out on my driveway. So I ran inside, got my car keys, parked it in the garage, ran out, got my dogs, brought them inside. And within like 30 seconds, we were getting golf ball size hail. Like huge, huge hail. And thankfully my garden did not see any casualties, which is just a miracle. I didn't have any damage to my house, which was also really, really fortunate. It lasted about 30 minutes, probably 15 minutes with hail. The rain lasted for quite a bit longer than that. My sister lives a little ways away from me, and she got like big hail. Like it broke a lot of their like outdoor play. Like they had a little plastic playscape, broke it. Shredded some of their screens on their windows. Thankfully didn't break any windows, but there was also some really, like there was a really bad tornado just southeast of me. And I think it killed several people, which is awful. But it was just very unexpected. Like we knew there was a chance of some severe weather, but didn't realize there was gonna be, like, I think at one point the tornado was like half a mile wide. Like takes up the entire screen when you're looking at it, which is just absolutely horrifying. And it did a lot of damage. So yeah, that sucks. That's one of the things that really sucks about living in the state. You know, thankfully for me, it was never going to hit me. It was always a little bit south of me. I still stayed up really late and watched it because I have a significant fear of tornadoes. And so anytime there's any chance there could be tornadoes, I'm going to be up watching and ready to go into my shelter. But yeah, thankfully it did not come for me this time. And I got my run in. I'm really glad that I was lazy that day and decided not to do the full 2 miles, because I would have been like ducking for cover. Actually, it would have been awful because it would have dented my car. My dogs probably aren't smart enough to stay inside, so they might have gotten injured. I probably would have been injured because it wasn't just, they were just falling. They were like being pelted with speed. So thankfully I got in and had no damage from it. I don't know where that story came from. Anyway, so I hope you guys have better weather than that. Hopefully we're not really out of the clear yet. Tornado season really goes through the end of May in Oklahoma, potentially longer than that. So we'll see. Now that we've cooled off again, there's a chance we could have more. Usually the warmer the temperatures are, like if they're consistently warm, we don't see as much of this, but who knows? But anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you back in a couple weeks. If not, I'll let you know on the Insta. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys.